Okay guys, today I'm replacing the antenna base and the antenna for my 2010 Ford Fusion. The antenna broke off flush into the back of the mount here. I tried to use a small easy out, drill into it and get it out, but the metal's too soft so I couldn't get it out. So what I'm doing is replacing the entire base and the antenna itself. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there are no videos out there to do this, so I figured I'd make a video to give you guys an idea of what I did. Anyways, the tools you're going to need are a 1/4 inch ratchet, a small extension, 8mm socket. You're going to need a 10mm box wrench or a ratcheting box wrench. This ratcheting box wrench has a swivel head, so it worked fantastic. You're going to need a common screwdriver. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. You're going to need a small pick. You're going to need a small pair of needle nose pliers. And you're going to need a trim tool, whether it be plastic or metal like this one. Also, you're going to need some black RTV silicone, which is optional. The reason why is with my new junkyard antenna, I'm going to put a bead of silicone around here just for some additional insurance so that it doesn't leak. So I don't have to take this apart to repair a leak. Anyways, the first thing I did was I came over here and I took the pick and I stuck it in between here and here and I gingerly pulled it down. And then I pulled it back. It is on a little retainer strap, which is part of it. And on the inside there's the 8mm bolt, which you have to undo. And then you pull this back. It pulls back fairly easy. And on the inside here, there's a green alignment aid stud, which is clipped into here. What I did is I took the needle nose pliers and I squeezed those two ends together and I pulled that out so that I had more room for the headliner to come down behind this so that it wasn't hitting that stud. It gave me a little bit more room to pull that down. The next thing I did was I came over here to the grab handle on the roof, and on the inside of the grab handle there's 2 Phillips screws, and what you have to do is you have to stick your pick in here and open this little door here. This door is on what's called a living hinge, so you don't want to move this around too many times because it will wear out. Same thing on this side over here, it's spring loaded. You pull with a pick, you pull the door open, and on the inside there's on this vehicle there was 2 Phillips screws inside there. So I took the Phillips screwdriver and I undid them, and I was able to pull the grab handle down out of the way. Now, the next thing I did was I took my trim tool and I removed these 2 tabs in here with the trim tool. Got it in there, and I held the entire trim tool. I didn't just pry against the headliner because it will damage the headliner. So when I stuck it in there, I held onto it like this and I pulled it down, the whole thing down. It came out fairly easy. So that loosened that took that loose. Same here, there's another one there, so you have 2 of them back there on the back of the headliner. Now over here, what I did was I opened the door and I pulled down the seal, which releases the edge of the headliner. Okay, now what you do is you repeat the process on this side of the vehicle. Here, pull it back, get the green tab out of the way so it gives you more room for the headliner to travel. And everything pulls back fairly easy. Then what I did was I removed the dome light, the rear dome light. Now how I did that was on the back of the dome light, from the back side here, you take your screwdriver, your flat blade screwdriver, and you stick it in between here and here, and you give it a small twist. Gingerly work it apart. It will come off of these 2 tabs here, and it will open up and it'll come apart. The lens cover will come off. Now this part right here was connected up into the headliner like so, okay? Now what you have to do is inside of here, there's a tab here, and over here, there's a tab there. You have to push these tabs that way. You have to push them back and get that to gingerly bring it down a little bit and do the other side and get it down. And then that will come down out of the way. Now, here are the tabs. Here are the tabs for that. So you see them right here. Lean this against something. I'm doing this one-handed. Sorry, guys. Okay. Here are the tabs for that. Here and here. Like I said, I stuck the screwdriver through the hole and I pried back a little bit on it, just nice and gentle to get that down. I didn't want to break those tabs off of there because that'd screw up. I'd have to end up buying a dome light. Anyways, I was able to, like I said, once I got those tabs down, I was able to pull that back, get it down, and I undid the wire. It's just got a small clip. Got a small clip, which you push it in and pull it off. Now here is the receiver for the dome light. Once you undo that, this dome light receiver moves around. What I did at that point was I pushed this wire through here, and I was able to move this receiver back and get it down out of the way. Okay. Hang on, fellas. Let me pull this wire off of the thing here. Fuck me. There it goes. Okay, sorry about that, boys. Anyways, you get that. Once you get that wire out of the way, you could pull. You can wiggle this around and you can work that out of there. It comes out of there fairly easy. You just toss it to the side with the dome light and the handle. Get all that out of your way. Anyways, at that point, the headliner will come down. It moves probably about 2-3 inches, and you can get your arm, you can get your fingers up in here to hold the box wrench, because the bolt for that is approximately in this area here. You have to take your arm like this and pull the back of the headliner down and get your hand up in there with the box wrench, and you take your other hand and you put it up in here, and you could hold the box wrench onto the stud that holds the antenna, on, which is here. So what's going on underneath there is there's a bolt here. You undo this bolt, you get that bolt down, and then that'll loosen everything up. And then the wiring harness here, which is from the junkyard, I'm not using it. I'm using the one that I took off the vehicle, is here. Is on there like this. Once you get the bolt out, that'll be on there. What you have to do is you have to grab that and pull that thing right up. You got to pull it off there. It's a little stiff, but it will come off. Then what you have to do is there's a tab here and a tab here. You're not going to be able to see those tabs because it's behind the headliner. Now you may be able to pull the headliner back to where you can look up in there. But given the fact that here's the motor for the moonroof, the sunroof, and that, you're not going to be able to see that very well. Now on the standard Fusion without the sunroof, you'll probably be able to see it halfway decent. Anyways, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to reach in there with your hand, and you're going to have to pinch these two little tabs in, and then you're really going to need some help. You're going to need somebody on the outside to pull up on the housing, to pull it off of to pull it out of the roof. After you do that, then you'll be able to reverse, do everything backwards like you did in removing it, and put it all back together, which is going to be a real hard thing to do for me to videotape and do. And it was even hard for me to do it like this. But given the fact that I didn't see anybody do this online, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an idea of what I did. Don't beat me up too bad, guys. I don't do videos. Anyways, good luck. Okay, FYI, guys, you're going to have to screw this bolt into this plug first before you stick it up into the headliner and plug it into the bottom of the antenna, because this screw, it floats in there. I took it all the way out when I disassembled it, which I probably didn't have to, but I did anyways. So I'm imagining once it's like this, you could push that up and down like that. That is out enough to where you can pull that, unplug this, just pull down on it. It will unplug. Anyways, so I'm going to stuff all that back up in here. Get that in there. And then I'll align it outside, align the antenna up and plug it in, and then get that plugged back in. You're going to have somebody hold it on the outside of the vehicle so that you can plug the antenna in.